Get off to a great start here.
So beginning the third, it's Quentin Post getting the start with Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond and Moses Moody and Curry. Halftime didn't cool them off at all.
That's just a quick ball screen. Keep it simple, and Avdija switches onto him, but Steph comes off of that thing with so much speed and turned the corner. Avdija had no answer.
Jeremy Grant with Klingon. CD Sissoko. The just command and shoot all the time guy.
It wasn't a
you would have loved that.
It wasn't a tinge. It was a whole lot of it.
That's the first time I've ever heard you be envious. The Warriors Shop item of the game, the Jordan Brand Statement Edition Crew sweatshirt is, there it is, Kay, 30% off.
Nice.
At shop.warriors.com.
We like that.
But Jeremy Grant, like, embracing this role because it's the most fun role you could ever have.
And to have your teammates embrace that, you better show that you're a great scorer. You can be effective there and efficient if possible.
Draymond.
Points in the first half, and they couldn't make a basket early in the game. They only had 12 points. And then, of course, Steph, when he came back in the end of the second, he just started to light it up again. So hopefully they'll play at a high level.
Hey, we just spent halftime hanging out with Clifford Ray. I love him, one of my favorites. You picked him up at the airport after the trade from Chicago. Why'd you do that?
Because I'm smart. Because I need a center who was willing to come and put himself in a good position so I can use him to run the two-man game. And so I said, well, I better make friends with him really quick. And I said, look, if you come over and put yourself in a good position, I'm going to get you a lot of dunks because I know Clifford left to dunk. And I tell you what, there's nobody in the history of the game, I guarantee you, we could sit down and look at film for weeks that ran the two-man game as well as Clifford and I did. Now, I did it with Nate and all, but I'm telling you, Clifford was the best.
Now, the other one that people never bring up, you taught George Johnson to shoot underhand free throws that championship year. Did you go to him and just say, George, you were a 41% free thrower. We got to stop this. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, we talked a little about it. George had the guts to be able to go and do it. He actually got himself up to where he was an 80% free throw shooter. So it's just amazing to me that more people don't try. I don't understand why general managers, coaches, and owners don't tell players they have to do it. They're an employee. They're getting millions of dollars they're paying them, and they're going to tell them, no, I'm not going to do something that could help the team. That's insane.
How long did it take you to teach George to do that?
Not very long. For us, along with Jamal having a great Game 7 against Chicago, I was thinking of, but it's proven scientifically to be the most efficient way to shoot a free throw, and yet people won't do it. It doesn't make any sense. My youngest son, Canyon, who played in the Olympics in 3x3, and actually he was a 90% shooter.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Rick. I tried it, and I struggled with it, so I might need your pointers as well. But
but the thing about it is that you're not a player.
Wait, what?
Kaleta played in the league.
I played in the league.
No, but you're not a player. I mean, a real player would have learned how to do it properly. Okay, if you really had the skills and the desire to do it, you would be a better free throw shooter. But if I had taught you the right technique, you probably would have done it. But no, there's nobody around teaching it properly. That's the problem.
Shots fired from Rick Barry. All right, well, he's a legend. So you guys swept the Washington Bullets. How confident were you going into that series? Because only 9 teams have ever done that, and how proud.
The biggest mismatch in the history of the NBA Finals, it's going to be a sweep. And so they got the sweep right, just the wrong team.
I mentioned the Mike Reardon sent out to get you in a fight in Game 4, and Al jumped in. Al got ejected. Did you know that they were going to try to do that and bait you into some type of fisticuffs to get you out of the series?
Well, I knew that when the start of the game. And Mike Reardon elbowed me to start the jump ball. He gave me an elbow to the chest on the jump ball. And I said, hey, Mike, I said, listen, what the hell do you think you're doing? You think I'm stupid enough to get into a fight with you so you can get me thrown out of the game? So, yeah, that was crazy. But I knew right then, I said, these guys are in trouble. If that's what they're resorting to, they're in desperation mode.
Well, so you guys were such a great offensive team, but you're one of the best defensive teams that year in 75, too.
There's only 2 teams that ever won a championship that were not in the top 10 defensively.
Rick, the Game 7 against Chicago, 83-79. You come from 3-2 down in that series. You got Sloan Van Leer and Chet Walker, Bob Love. How did you win that rock fight to get to the finals? Because that was the most dangerous game in terms of getting sent home.
Yeah, well, we felt that, guys, that was our championship series right there. And then I blew a game in Chicago that we should have won. That was killing me and haunting me. And then I almost blew Game 4 by Terrell. I was like 2 for 14. Al took me out midway through the third quarter. What coach do you know of that would take out his leading scorer and player midway through at home, down double digits, midway through the third quarter, and keep me out the whole quarter, keep me out at the start of the fourth quarter? And thank God, after I got back after a few minutes in the fourth quarter, that I actually played the way I should have been playing the whole game. So it was pretty good. They got to stop that. I like the big guy for them. I mean, they do
handed free throws. I wouldn't try to go at it or anything with it. I was just saying I struggled with it. I need some help.
That was one of the cool things, though. He taught George Johnson, the backup center, and he went from 40% to nearly 80% from the line in that championship year. Draymond floating that home.
See, there's your step ball screen. I was calling for it earlier. Draymond knows what to do with it.
And Moody will be called for a block here.
Something I'm sure Coach Kerr is loving right now.
See Pods, he's not letting Avdia get right. And then where's the help? There it is with Draymond. And Clingan hammering that down. And Avdia's behind the play. He was banged up as he hit the deck.
There, Pods.
Kemsky, corner three.
He just had one man down for the Blazers, and it was just about finding the odd man out. It was Podziemski in the corner.
Brandon, great bounce back game. Everybody struggled shooting the ball in Miami. Horford with the rebound.
I just like his shot selection better.
Yes.
He's playing off the guys. He's letting the game come to him. He doesn't have to create as much.
Horford looking for Steph relocate. There's Curry. That one, Jeremy Grant's like, don't do it to me. You've done it to Clingan so many times. Steph is 6 of 11 on threes, but